This is Vegeta8259 again, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the 1 to 100 scale Gundam Seravee. Of course, this is from the second season of Gundam 00, and quite the large mobile suit. Actually, I think this is the... well, I don't know. I would say it's the largest release in the series, but I think 00 Gundam with the O-Riser together kind of might be about the same mass, but this one's still pretty big. Anyway, for colors, you've got white, of course, on most of it, gray for the joints and hands, you've got black for the kneecaps, the GN Bazooka 2, and the majority of Seraphim on the back here. Got a little bit of red and yellow, a few clear parts. Actually, you've got two different clear colors. You've got just plain clear for parts like the eyes and the little forehead piece and the little circular thingies like on his elbow joints. But you've also got clear green parts. I honestly don't know why Bandai didn't just mold all the parts in clear green, but the clear green parts are on the cannons on his shoulders and on the knees here. And there may be more that I'm forgetting me out. Alright, there were some clear green parts on the GN Bazooka 2. And then, finally, you've got this kind of strange bluish, greenish, gray color. It's a really hard color to describe, but that's basically just for Seravee's torso. Anyway, the only painting I've done on this so far is just the eyes and the clear red for the forehead piece. Everything else is unpainted. For stickers, you get two sheets of stickers. The first one has got stickers for the eyes, for the red thingies on the foreheads, and a big green sticker for the camera on Seraphim, which is right there. And then you've got some dark, not quite black, but dark green stickers to go on the little GN condensers. And you also get a small sheet of hologram or holofoil stickers for the eyes and the face events on the giant Gundam face. Alright, for articulation on Seravee, the head is on a ball joint, but because of these cannons up here, it's kind of limited. If you lift them out of the way, it gets a little bit better and goes side to side, up and down, and rotate 360. But you'll have to be careful because, as you can see, Seravee's V-fin comes out. And actually, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a V-fin come out from the head like that. Usually they just go out to the sides like the yellow ones. Anyway, the shoulder joints down in the torso can go forward and back, and up all the way till they touch the head, and back down. Just like all the other 1 to 100 scale 00 Gundams, there's, or from Season 2 anyway, there's a swivel joint up inside the torso, but no waist joint. And that's part of the mechanism for the designer's color version, which this is not. I guess I'll go to the arms next. The arms can, of course, go 360. This little flap right here on the shoulder can go all the way out like so, which allows the arm to go out. And there's rotation below the shoulder joint. Double jointed elbows, but because of the bulky nature of the arm, they can only bend about that far. A little bit more than 90 degrees, but still pretty good, I guess, considering how bulky the Seravee is. There's another joint right here at the wrist, which lets the wrist go up like so. And then Seravee's got the peg wrist joints like the 00 Gundam had, so they can just rotate but don't wiggle. And as you can see in here, that's where the beam saber is stored when not in use. For the skirt armor, these enormous side skirts. I've never seen side skirts this big before. They are on a ball joint, so they can go in and out and rotate about that far and wiggle just a little bit. The one front skirt is on a peg, so it can go up and down and rotate slightly. There's really not any side skirts to, back skirts to speak of, unless you count Seraphim, which doesn't really move in this mode, but I'll get to Seraphim in the second part of the review. The hips can go up about that far, and a little bit too close to the camera. They can go back until they hit Seraphim. It actually is a ball joint up here, and then there's another swivel joint at the hip, so there's a little bit of rotation down there. The knees are actually pretty nice. They can bend about that far, a little bit further than I was expecting. And of course, these cannons on the kneecaps can come out, and this gray part comes out a little bit, so it can do this motion. And they can rotate, so you can port them pretty much wherever they need to go. The ankles are pretty basic. The foot's just one piece, it doesn't have any movement to it, and it's just your normal ball joint ankle, so it can go up and down, side to side, and it can't rotate because of the armor around the ankle, but it can go about that far to each side. So, good, we've got some time to do weapons and accessories. I was afraid it might be a three-part review. Anyway, this is the GN Bazooka 2. This is it when in its combined mode. And as you saw at the beginning of the review, he was holding it. Doesn't really have any problems holding it with one hand, I don't think. The joints in this kit are pretty sturdy, so he can hold it up pretty well. Take that out. And they split in half. And then each one has got this little part here that moves that just helps you put the handle in his hand better. And this handle can flip in or out depending on how you want it to go. Oh, I forgot. I should have mentioned before I took it apart. Oh, it already was apart. Anyway, this is in the normal mode, and then I believe when you spread the cannon apart like that, I believe that's burst mode. Anyway, when you close them, you can see these clear green pieces down there inside the cannon. And these little handles on the side here rotate as well. I find I don't really use them all that much, though. And of course, you can have one cannon in each hand, which I actually think is a better pose than just having the one big cannon in one hand. And if you bend these down to the shoulders, arm came off, you can bring these up, and they don't really connect, but they just kind of fit onto the end of the cannon on Seraphim, and you can have a really long GN cannon. And then, while we've still got some time, I'm going to show off one of my favorite poses for Seravee, which doesn't include his cannons at all. It actually includes his beam sabers. Now, unfortunately, Seravee only comes with 2 beam sabers, and as I showed you earlier, they're tucked away underneath the arms, or underneath the hands rather. But Seravee comes with 2 pink beams, one for each beam saber, and the pose that I had mentioned earlier, you can take the beam sabers from 00 Gundam and Arios Gundam, and so now you've got a total of 6 beam sabers. Then all you have to do is take the hands from the Seraphim. Actually, there's 2 sets of hands. One set goes in the knees, the set with the pegs for the wrists, and then Seraphim, the arms up here, have ball joints, so you just pop those in, and then you can put one beam saber in each hand for a very intimidating pose. It actually almost kind of reminds me of VO or Nightingale with their extra arms and extra beam sabers. So yeah, really cool pose when you have all 6 beam sabers in there. Anyway, I guess that's about it for part 1. Come back for part 2 and we will go over the Seraphim.